Have you ever wondered what could happen if 10,000 US amphibious troops were deployed in the West Philippine Sea? What would be the impact on China's claims over these waters? The West Philippine Sea, a body of water teeming with natural resources and strategic importance, has been the center of territorial disputes for years. Its significance stretches beyond its abundant marine life and potential oil reserves. It's a critical gateway for global trade, with about a third of the world's maritime shipping passing through its waters. Now imagine the arrival of 10,000 US amphibious troops in this contested region. A deployment of this scale is more than just a show of force. It's a tactical maneuver, a flexing of military muscles designed to safeguard interests and maintain peace. These troops, trained for land and sea operations, would be a formidable presence. Their deployment would signal a significant escalation of commitment from the United States. It would be a clear message, not just to China, but to the world, that the US is ready and willing to protect its allies and uphold international law. But how would China respond to this? Would they back down, or would it only serve to escalate tensions further? What would this mean for the balance of power in the Asia-Pacific region? And what benefits could this potentially bring for the Philippines, a nation that has long been at odds with China over territorial disputes in these waters? These are questions worth pondering. These are scenarios worth exploring, because understanding the power of deployment isn't just about counting troops or assessing military strength. It's about grasping the potential shifts in geopolitical landscapes, the possible ripple effects that could extend far beyond the shores of the West Philippine Sea. So, what would be China's options if such a deployment were to occur? Keep watching until the end for the answer, and while you're here, why not hit that subscribe button and give us a like? It only takes 3 seconds. But first, what exactly are amphibious troops, and why are they so crucial in a situation like this? Well, let's dive right in, shall we? Amphibious troops, also known as Marines, are a unique breed of military personnel. They are specially trained for operations that involve both land and sea, making them ideal for island disputes and coastal conflicts. Picture this: a force that can seamlessly transition from sea to land, engaging in combat operations with a level of proficiency that is unparalleled. That's the essence of an amphibious troop. Now imagine 10,000 of these specialized soldiers deployed in a strategic location. It's a formidable sight, isn't it? And that's not even the best part. What makes amphibious troops truly remarkable is their ability to project power from the sea without the need for an established base. This ability to launch operations from naval vessels gives them a significant advantage in terms of mobility and surprise. So why are they so crucial in the West Philippine Sea dispute? The answer lies in the geography of the region. The West Philippine Sea is a vast expanse of water dotted with numerous islands and reefs. It's a complex territory, and controlling it requires a military force that can operate effectively on both land and sea. Enter the amphibious troops. In this potential scenario, the deployment of 10,000 US amphibious troops could serve as a strong deterrent to any further territorial claims by China. It sends a clear message: any attempt to escalate the situation will be met with a swift and decisive response. But it's not just about deterrence, it's also about support. In a situation like this, the presence of amphibious troops could provide a much-needed boost to the Philippines, bolstering their position in the dispute and giving them the backing they need to stand their ground. With these specialized forces, the dynamics of the conflict could shift dramatically. But how? To answer that, we'll need to delve a little deeper. So buckle up, folks, because we're just getting started. Now let's imagine this. The US deploys 10,000 amphibious troops in the West Philippine Sea. What happens next for China? This hypothetical scenario would undoubtedly put China in a challenging position. Let's explore the potential responses from China, shall we? From a diplomatic perspective, China would likely escalate its diplomatic efforts. It's one thing to have a dispute with the Philippines, but another entirely to face off with the United States. It's likely that China would attempt to negotiate a solution, but would they be successful? That's up for debate. Now on to the economic implications. China is a global economic powerhouse, no doubt about that. However, the deployment of US troops might cause a ripple effect on China's economic stability. Trade relations with the United States and other nations could be strained, potentially leading to sanctions or tariffs. This could potentially slow down China's economic growth. And then there's the military response. China possesses a formidable military, but would they choose to flex their military muscles in response to the US deployment? It's a risky move, considering the potential for escalating tensions and even armed conflict. But let's not forget, China also has limitations. Their military, while vast and powerful, is not invincible, and in the West Philippine Sea they would be facing off against the US amphibious troops, a force renowned for their training, equipment, and combat experience. Moreover, China's geographical position could also pose a significant challenge. The West Philippine Sea is far from mainland China, making it logistically challenging to support a large-scale military operation in the region. So, if this scenario were to unfold, China would be in a tough spot, to say the least. Diplomatic, economic, and military challenges would be at the forefront, and their limitations would become all the more glaring. China would certainly face a difficult situation. But what about the Philippines? How could they benefit? Well, for that, you'll have to stick around. We'll be delving into the potential benefits for the Philippines in the next chapter, so stay tuned. The Philippines has been in a long-standing dispute with China over the West Philippine Sea. How could a deployment of US amphibious troops help them? This question circles around the minds of many, and today we're diving into the potential benefits that such an action could bring. For starters, enhanced security is a clear benefit. The presence of 10,000 US amphibious troops would act as a formidable deterrent against any potential aggression. It's a show of force, a physical embodiment of the old saying, strength in numbers. This military presence would, in no uncertain terms, communicate that any unilateral move by China in the disputed waters would not go unchallenged. Next, let's talk about diplomatic leverage. With US forces on their side, the Philippines' position in negotiations would be greatly bolstered. It's like having a big brother in the playground. It gives you a bit more confidence to stand your ground. The presence of these troops would signal a strong alliance, and China would be forced to reassess their approach, potentially leading to more constructive discussions and peaceful resolutions. Last but not least, we can't overlook the potential economic gains. The West Philippine Sea is a rich source of natural resources. With enhanced security, the Philippines could fully harness these resources without fear. The economic potential of fishing, oil and gas extraction, and other maritime activities could be unlocked, leading to job creation and economic growth. Indeed, the deployment of US amphibious troops could bring about significant benefits for the Philippines. It's a move that could shift the balance, providing security, fortifying diplomatic stance, and opening up economic opportunities. But, as with all things in global politics, it's never quite that simple. The Philippines could see significant advantages, but will such a deployment happen, and what would be China's final option? Keep watching as we delve further into this complex issue. So we've talked about the potential impact of a large-scale US deployment in the West Philippine Sea, but will it really happen? And what would be China's final option? Well, the feasibility of such a deployment is not entirely outlandish. The United States has a history of strategic deployments, particularly when it comes to maintaining peace and balance in regions of conflict. But this isn't a game of chess, it's the real world with real people, real nations, and real consequences. The geopolitical considerations at play are complex. The United States, China, and the Philippines, along with other nations in the region, all have their own national interests and strategies. It's a delicate dance of diplomacy and power. And in this dance, every move is scrutinized, every step calculated. So what could be China's final option if such a deployment were to occur? The answer is negotiation. Yes, you heard it right. When faced with a significant show of force, the most prudent course of action is often to come to the negotiating table. It's not about admitting defeat, but about seeking a peaceful resolution. After all, isn't that what we all want? A large-scale deployment might prompt China to reconsider its claims in the West Philippine Sea. It could lead to a period of intense negotiation and diplomacy, possibly resulting in a more equitable resolution. And what about the Philippines? Well, such a deployment could strengthen its position in these negotiations. It might provide the Philippines with a greater say in the future of the West Philippine Sea, a future where its interests are better protected. But remember, this is all hypothetical. It's a big if. The real world is unpredictable, and the decisions made by nations are influenced by a myriad of factors. And that, my friends, is the power of deployment. Subscribe for more amazing content and keep wondering. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.